Hi, everybody.
היי, שלום לכולם.
היי.
Hello.
בהצלחה.
Good afternoon, everybody.
People are still coming in, so we're going to wait a few more minutes. Okay, Gail, there are already 500 participants, so it means that automatically anyone who tries now to join is directed to the live stream option. Okay, what's the time? Okay, we are 2 minutes after 3:30.
3:32.
Oh, Arona, you're here. That's wonderful. Leah and Medalale, you're responsible for muting participants if there's a background noise. Okay, thank you very much. So let's begin. And good afternoon. We don't want to waste any time. I just want to know if Elias is here.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great.
Liz and Aaron, Karen are both co-hosts.
Okay, fine. So we're going to start, first of all, by greeting you with good afternoon. And that I'm very happy to see so many teachers interested in the 3-point Bagrut test. This meeting is devoted only to the 3 points. Questions about 4 and 5, if there are, will be maybe at the end if there's time. I'm not sure. And if not, it will be directed to Elias at a later point, or privately by mail or at a later point. So now I'll take the opportunity to introduce Dr. Elias Farach, who is the Chief Inspector for junior high and high, not for elementary. For the first time, we are dividing between elementary, junior high, and high. And do you want to say a few words of greeting, Elias?
Yes, of course, Tsiona. Thank you for introducing me. Good afternoon, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to be with you here. I won't take too much of your time because we'll have plenty of opportunities to meet. I would just like to say that English teachers are very important for me. I was teaching up to the end of last year. There will be lots of opportunities for English teachers this year to learn. There'll be lots of enriching and practical courses as soon as the budgets are approved. I'm very grateful for Dr. Tsiona for her continuous guidance and support, and also a big thank you to Aharona for running the session today, the meeting here today. I'm so happy to see so many friends and colleagues here. So best of luck, everybody. Wishing you all a good and safe year.
Thank you, Elias. We are here, 500 participants, but 1,520 actually signed up. I don't know. There are 1,520 participants. Usually there are more people that sign up for such important meetings that actually show up, but we are recording this session. This meeting is live streamed, and thank to Gail. Gail, can you raise your hand? Oh, here you are. This meeting is, everyone who is interested can join by listening. In any case, yes, they are able to join. Gail, there is a comment that somebody here cannot join. So maybe you want to give instructions how they can follow the live meeting before we begin.
There's a link here that Avital put up, so we should try the link. That's a problem.
I've sent the link a few times already. I can send it again.
Okay.
You cannot join the Zoom. You need to go to the YouTube link.
Yes.
This Zoom is full.
Okay. I will also say
Ask questions in the YouTube. Barry is answering questions there. Thank you, Barry.
great. So everything is set up for us to begin. I'm going to make an introduction to why we have a special meeting for 3 points. Why are we separating the 3-point Bagrut test from the other 2? So first of all, I want to start with some information, some data. I generally want to say that this meeting today is not a discussion, really. It's more informative. And if there's time, maybe at the end, then we'll also answer some questions, but I'm not promising because the information I really would like to get across at one go. And then we can see, because it's a very, very large group. So excuse me if we're missing some questions along the way. I think we will be quite clear, and no need will be, we won't have a need to answer questions. Okay, so I'm going to start with some data. I'm starting with something that is quite interesting and really needs to be taken into consideration. For several years now, I'm looking at information that I collected about a certain population of 3 points. I would like to say the 3-point exam, or let's say the 3-point student population, I'll say this before I show the screen, is comprised from more or less 3 types of students, or 3 types of schools where students of 3 points study. One is what we call מרכזי חינוך טכנולוגי. I'm talking about the mainstream. And I know that there are many teachers here who teach in what we call מח"טים, מרכזי חינוך טכנולוגי. Many of the students there study at the level of 3 points. Another group of 3-point students, or students who sit for the 3 point, they're not 3 point, they themselves, of course, are students that learn not even in Ministry of Education schools, but in schools that belong to the Ministry of Economy, or the Ministry of, we call משרד הכלכלה, or משרד העבודה, that they don't belong even to the Ministry of Education, but they still sit for the Bagrut. Many of them sit for the 3-point test. And of course, there's the major group, which are students that study in any kind of school, but they are more prepared and more suitable, I would say. Not suitable is not a good word, but they sit for the 3-point exam. Because they were late bloomers, or because they started learning English at a later age, or they had fewer opportunities. For whatever reason it is, they're doing 3 points. And we do want, and we always make it a point, to give these students the best learning opportunity that we can. But then, over the years, we noticed that some of the grades were going down instead of going up. I want to show you the data because every year we look at the Bagrut results. We want to see if there are things that stand out, things that should draw attention, things that should draw a decision-making or policy change of any kind. And here, what do we see? I'm showing you this. 1 second. I'm starting with A. Now, I want to remind you who the A students are. Students that go for the A test. They start because they start at the A because some of them really started to learn English at a late point. Let's put it this way. And look at the results. This is comparing students from, let's say, from Agav Shachar and from students from מח"טים. Look at the results. The results went down, but this is representative of the general situation. The general situation is that in Module A, the grades are going down over the years. And this is something that was quite worrying because it's a threshold place. And this is not something that we want to see. I continued looking, and in the winter, it was okay. You can see, I'm looking at the blue line. I'm not looking at the orange line because the orange line is always higher. Why is it higher? Because it's the annual grades. It's the grades that the teachers give. Okay, what we call ציון מגן or ציון שנתי. But I'm looking at the results of the test. And the results are, you can see, are quite steady in the winter. And if you look at the third graph here, you can see that even if students started in the winter to do Module A, or they came into the summer for the first time, we can see again that the grades are not so good. They are, I mean, we saw that there was a grade that went up, a year that it went up last year, but then again, went down again. I want to show you Module C. I want to show you Module C. 1 second. Module C is, as you know, the highest level for 3 points and the first test for 4 points. In 4 points, in module C, we can also see a decline. No, this is again module A. I'm sorry. I showed you the wrong, excuse me. I showed you the wrong. I think this is, yes. I think this is what I'm looking for. Yes, this is what I am looking for. We can see that in module C, when students are prepared, we can see that there were ups and downs, but we see an average of around this past summer, we can see an average of 62, which raises some questions, whether students who do 3 points, what kind of support they need in order to get a higher grade. And this is only the reading part. And the same with the winter. The winter, again, we see 65 as an average. And this is the beginning of 4 points. So think about that. And students who started to do the summer test for the first time in the summer, meaning in the summer of the 11th grade. Okay, the same, more or less the same grade like in the winter. The conclusion that I draw from this, and after I also consulted, is that there's more testing than teaching. That students are prepared for a reading test and they do unseen after unseen, and they don't do enough learning of the language that can give them support. What kind of support can we offer? This is something that we're going to talk now about with Arona. But I'm going to give you a heads up. We did make a big change for the Module A test. What is this big change? We took the listening off, and this will take place in the winter, and it was published in this coming winter, and it was published in the latest bulletin. There will only be 2 texts, the listening, which is quite difficult for Module A students. The listening will move and will be counted, not will move, will be counted as part of the boost, because speaking and listening goes together, or we're talking about receptive skills and productive skills that work together. And we think that this will balance out not only the grades, but more importantly, the skills that we want our students to be exposed to and to practice and to be prepared for learning more English. We understand that English is a very, very important skill for life, and we definitely need proper training for this. For the students, of course, and also to raise attention for teachers as well. So Arona, I only began. You're more than welcome to take the stage from here.
So first of all, thank you very, very much, Siona. And I think what's really important and what you really wanted to also say is that this is the attempt to give the students the opportunity to increase their success, the changes and the updates that are being made in all the different parts that we're going to be talking about today.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay. I want to say one thing about the 3-point concept, just one thing very, very quickly. And that is the sense in the world is that 3 points isn't worth anything and that it's so easy. And one of the messages that gets to the students is that it's just so easy. Everybody can do it. It's not so easy. And for many, many, many of our students, especially the ones that Siona's been speaking about, and your students, those of you that are here, you know that for our students that do 3 points as the final Bagrut that they do, 3 points is not easy.
No, it isn't.
And for many of our students, Module A is the hardest test for this population. It's a big step up. It requires a lot of integration and learning and skills. And we have to appreciate the challenge that it poses to our kids who are really what we call 3-point students.
Mhm.
Okay. And it's a message for the principals as well. The 3 points is not so simple. You have to learn, you have to study, you have to work. Okay. It is b'chol zot learning a foreign language for most of our students. Okay. I hope I can share. So let me see. I can. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to talk about, we're just going to quickly in the time that we have, we're going to go through the 3-point requirements, what we actually need for our 3-point presented, for our 3 points, for our students to complete 3 points. There's nothing totally new. There's nothing completely different. It's just an update, okay? And it's important for us to remember that that's what we're talking about, an update, okay? One of the things that I always like to say is that the language, the English language doesn't change tremendously. I mean, it hasn't in the years, all the thousands of years that I've been teaching. But there's lots and lots of changes in the way we evaluate our learners' skills. And we always hope that we find better ways, more improved methods for assessing their knowledge and for giving our students a sense that they're shavim, that they're learning, they're studying, and that their bagrut is worth something. And I think that's a lot of where us as teachers, we come in. Okay. I'm going to try to share now. Okay, here we go. So as Siona said, right now it's really, it's sort of like we can't really take questions. I hope we answer all the questions. I know how hard it is when you have a question to keep listening. So sometimes it's good just to write it down and then at least the question is out. Okay, and I'm really happy that Elias is here. You know, it's really nice to have both of you here with us today. It's encouraging and it's Gail's birthday. Happy birthday, Gail. Okay, so we're starting. Opa. Can you see that I changed my screen? Good. We're starting with 3 chatzavim, A, B, C. These are the flowers of fall. They're very, very beautiful. And if the flowers keep blooming, it gives us a good sense of hope. Okay, today, very, very quickly, we're going to do a 3-point Bagrut overview. We're going to look at the structure and function of the new Module A that Siona talked about. We're going to remind us all of the writing topics in Module C. I'm going to remind us all that we still have to do a project, even though it's not tested on the boost. We're going to talk a little bit about the boost, and then about moving from 3 to 4, which has gotten a little bit of a shakeup this past year.
Arona, I just forgot to say one thing about the Mikud. No questions now about the Mikud because no decisions were made yet whether there is an extra Mikud, extra focus on which parts to be tested at the moment. Once there is, I will give the information. Elias will give it to you.
In other words, everybody recognizes that this is we're learning. We're
Yes,
going to find out what's going to happen.
We're teaching and we're learning and we're expanding our language skills.
Okay, so in order to complete the 3-point Bagrut, and you all know this, I just want to remind you that you all know it. We want all the kids to climb that ladder, to take the Module A Bagrut examination, complete the log for Module B, which, unless there's a change, is 1 poem, 2 short stories, and 2 book reports. Prepare a project. Take the Module C Bagrut exam, and take the Bagrut.
Arona, can you change the format to presentation mode?
It is on presentation mode.
No, it isn't.
Maybe you can't see it. So that's my
You put it on Hatzagat Shkufiyot.
It is. It's on Hatzagat Shkufiyot, but what about now? Can you see it?
We see, now it is.
Okay. It's for some reason, my computer is sort of like me, a step behind, always a step. Okay. So the boost, which is an oral computerized speaking test, and for our special populations, the special ed populations, FSHEVA, etc., there will still be the option to be tested face-to-face and by a teacher in school, not their teacher, in a personal interview, and also questions on their project. Can you see the new slide?
Yes, Arona.
It's really important. I'm saying this twice because the question always comes up. When we talk about special populations, we're talking about אפס שבע, חינוך מיוחד, כיתות חינוך מיוחד, ילדים משולבים בכיתות רגילות, who are identified as special education in some form or another. If you have a question about that, you can always contact me. Okay, Module A, the changes and adjustments. Siona talked about them. We're talking about two. We're going to do it to whom are we going to do it? To the kids. They're going to be 2 texts, okay? These texts are 2 longer texts. There'll be 15 questions in total, all right? The same number of questions, sach hakol, as we had on our previous exam, but there'll be 7 questions on one text and 8 questions on another. And each question will be worth fewer points. That's a gift also for our students. 15 questions, the questions will be worth 6, 7 points. Okay, some questions a little bit less, some questions a little bit more. It seems a lot. It seems long. It's the same. It seems that the teachers have been a little bit overwhelmed by what this could be. It's the same, just a little bit more, and it will be fine. Imagine our students, our Module A students have been doing 3 texts, right? 2 texts, 2 reading, and 1 listening. 2 access to information texts. 3. We had 3 access to information texts. We now have 2 receptive texts from written work instead of having to listen and read the questions and understand the questions and then listen, okay? We have a listening on the boost. We will have a model exam available for teachers to look at and to share with students eventually after the fall holidays at the end of October. Meanwhile, do what you always do. Teach and practice vocabulary, reading comprehension strategies. Help your students make sense of questions. Help them learn how to find answers in the text that are not always, oh, this is the same word, that's the same word, I'm going to copy it. I hope I'll be right. Make good use of all the texts that we have available on the portal. Here's a link and here's another link. The Dig Into Digital program for Module A, for Module C, and for Ladders offers very, very nice texts and very, very nice work. And the textbooks and the practice books are full of texts. Some texts are longer, some texts are shorter, just like in a newspaper. Our students can learn to read and cope with slightly longer texts and more questions. Module C, we're moving on. It's the same as we always. No updates, but we still have an opinion essay. And so far, it looks like the 19 writing topics are back, but we're waiting for final decision. Right, Siona?
Exactly.
Okay. And the limited number
Anyway,
of
the final decision most likely will be for the North and the South. It won't be for the entire country.
Right. Okay, so again, we're in like this wave and everyone's managing as well as they can. 19, we don't have to teach the kids how to write 19 topics. The idea is to give them the skills to write a short composition, as you all know, a short composition about their opinion about a number of things. And then
it used to be. I mean, before we had
it used
19.
to be. They are back, the 19 topics.
No, before that we had no we had
no topics.
We had no topics.
Okay. The project. Many questions have come up regarding the project because it's not tested on the boost. And teachers have said, we don't have to have the kids do the project. The project, as you all know, encourages a bit more writing, reading, and personal growth. Topics range from anything to everything. And when students prepare a project in English, for some of them, this is the first time ever that they've produced anything in writing. And on the Ladders Aim High site, there's a model of a possible 3-point project. It's called My Birthday Project. You can adapt it and enhance it as you see fit. But there's any project can work. And the idea is for the kids, one, to have something to read about, talk about, write about, and something else to do besides unseens all the time, okay? To learn about other things, to talk about other things, and to practice their speaking. We must do the project. The grade becomes part of the yearly grade for Module C, up to 30%, okay? The boost. I know that many, many teachers are concerned, even those of you that have seen the exam, are a little bit concerned about the boost because it's on the computer, because it's different from what many of our students have done until now, because it's an unknown, because we as teachers don't necessarily feel as skilled in preparing our students for something that we don't know that well. So I think it's important when we talk about this boost, this online exam, for us to understand maybe 5 important things. 1, it's designed for success. The students can learn, and in a minute I'll show you all the information that's available. There's material for the students to study, and unlike all of our other exams, it's very, very clear what should be learned for this test. That's number 1. Number 2, this test is divided into 4 parts. What we see on the screen is part number 3. The test is divided into 4 parts. 2 receptive, which is like listening and responding to what the students hear. And 2 is production. 1 is a question like this. Tell me a few things about yourself, which again, the students can prepare and learn how to say. And then there's a list of additional topics we'd like them to be able to talk about. Some of them even merge very nicely with the Module C writing. The idea is to give our students the opportunity to prepare and to be able to feel more confident in the way they speak. And the 4th element is a picture story where they have to say one thing about what's happening in each picture that they see. The idea behind the boost was to give the 3-point students the opportunity of being of some kind of equity with the 4 and 5 pointers, and also to give us the opportunity to see things a little bit more objectively, all of us. I can tell you that the schools where teachers have tried out the boost, the kids did beautifully, and the graders were so impressed. And it's really, really clear that if our students believe and learn that if they invest time and there's proof in their investment, their success is a reflection of the investment. And therefore, we've found that until now in the practice exams that we've had, that it's been very, very successful. Okay, so that's related to the boost. We have to remember also that the ability,
It's important to say that there's no obligation to do the winter test of the boost DAFCA. They
I
can
didn't
do
say
it.
anything about when they
No,
should
you
take it.
didn't, but questions I see on the
Okay.
on the
Right,
chat.
so thank you. So there's no obligation. There's no obligation to run and take the test. But there are 3 things that we have to know. 1, and you'll see it on the screen in a minute. The boost can only be done in 12th grade. Module A can be taken in 11th grade. Module C can be done in 11th grade. But the boost can only be taken in 12th grade. Students can take it in the winter, in the summer, and Moed Bet, just like the COBE. The ability to communicate effectively does leave a lasting impact on our students' self-esteem as English language learners, speakers, listeners, and communicators. And it's true that there's no person that they're communicating with on this test, but there's a sense of, I did it, which is just fantastic. The kids are graded very, very fairly, more on content than on specific language. And the idea is talk. And the more you talk, the better you will talk.
True.
The boost, which is number 016387, has the same dates of the COBE. And right now, all being well, these are the dates for the winter Moed, the summer Moed, and Moed Bet in June. Okay, the same dates as the COBE. If you have students taking the COBE in your school, 4 and 5 pointers, you might decide, that you want the 3 pointers who are a little bit, have other kinds of behavioral things sometimes, to take it on a different day. It doesn't have to be the same day. They can also take it on the same day, depending on all the numbers of computers and students and possibilities in your school. The idea is not to rush, but to do it when the kids are ready. Not to rush, but to do it when the kids are ready. There are a number of boost courses. We're going into, I think, the third year of boost courses in the country. There's boost courses in different mechozot. So if you're interested or you feel that you would like to learn more about how you can prepare your students, or you would like to feel that you have other people you can talk to about how you're preparing your students and share some of your ideas, these courses, once they're open, will be available, and they're quite fun. Okay, how come I can't go into the next one? Nothing wants to move. Okay. What have I done wrong? I'll stop sharing for a minute and then I'll reshare. There's many questions I see about who do we actually identify as being kids with special needs. So if you have any questions, please contact me privately and we'll answer those questions. There's a lot of boost information, practice, and ideas on the site here. And if you go in, you'll see that we have the grading rubrics and the guidelines for grading, just most recently updated last month in August. And there's a lot of ways for us to see how we can fairly mark our students and help our students succeed. I want to talk a little bit about moving from 3 to 4 points. And I know that this is something that we've been talking about for years and years and years, the importance of promoting climbing the ladder from 3 to 4 points. We had a slight shakeup this year, and that is that Agaf HaBchinot, Misrad HaChinuch, decided, for financial reasons, that students can only get 1 grade for an internal grade. In other words, we can only record 1 internal grade. That means that module B or D, we can only submit 1 grade. Again, when you get to the middle of 12th grade or the end of 11th grade, and in your mind as a teacher, you have completed the 3-point log, don't give a grade. Wait till 12th grade to put in the grade, because maybe you will see that your student will progress and do 4 points in the end. Once you've put in a module B grade, we cannot put in a module D grade. We know that they closed the 3 points. The students don't know. We can tell them you completed all you need to do for module B, but we have a few more things to complete module D if you're going to do 4 points. Okay? The boost can only be taken at the end, can only be taken in 12th grade. We should know. And I know this year it's a little bit challenging because of the strike with Irgun HaMorim. Kids didn't get Tzionim Shnatiyim. Kids didn't get their grades in 11th grade. Hopefully things will clear up, and we should know by the winter moed of 12th grade what level our students will complete. Will they do 3, or will we be able to get them to 4? If you still don't know, then your student can take the boost in the winter and the COBE in the summer, because these are what we call external exams. Once they take if we do the old oral, right, the face-to-face oral, then we can't do another one. They can't take the face-to-face oral for 4 points if they took the face-to-face oral for 3. Okay, but if we want to go from the boost to the COBE, that's possible because they're considered external exams. I know this is a bit of a shakeup because part of our headset for many of our kids was to close 3 points completely with all the elements and then go on and complete 4. Now we have to just give the grades at the end of 12th grade. I also know, but this is only, the students that I always taught, that many of them run out of energy by the second semester of 12th grade. And that's why, especially in Agav Shachar settings in schools, the principals want to get everything done and tied up. But we want to give our students the opportunity to learn more, to do more, if they have the skills, the language, and if we as teachers can encourage them and can build up their motivation. So we want to speak for success, and we want them to learn for fun, and we want them to enjoy learning English and feel that English is something that will make a positive difference in their lives. And sometimes we know that one of the most motivational tools that we have is testing. And another motivational tool that we have is encouraging our students that they can move up to 4 points. Let's make sure that we're doing the right thing for our kids. And let's help them get there in the most efficient and best ways. And remember, there's always more opportunities to take these exams. We shouldn't be afraid of the boost. We shouldn't be afraid of the new module A. We really, I mean, all of you know that you have all these amazing skills as teachers. And it's true, these are really challenging times, and our kids are going through upside down, inside outs. And messages are confusing, but I know that the changes that have been made are really for the benefit of our students. And think about it, once you listen to the listening sections on the boost, you will see that most of them are much easier to understand than what we were asking our first-time testees in 11th grade to do on Module A. So let's hope for the best. Let's work for the best. And I think that's what I have to say today.
Okay, so now it's 4:10, but I saw that many of the questions were really answered in Arona's presentation. If there are questions that haven't been answered, then we can give an opportunity. But please raise your hand and we'll see. And if not, we can also say good afternoon. That's also okay. We don't have to fill up the whole hour. So if there's a question here, I see Karen Navo is raising her hand. Karen, what did you want to ask? But you're muted. We have to unmute people. 1 second, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, there. Okay. The length of the answers in the boost. It's very specific in the code, how long
So the length
kids
of the
have to
answers
speak
in the
for.
boost, so I didn't give all the information about the boost because it's all written, and I can spend a lot of time going through everything if that's what people would like me to do.
Is
but
it written
basically-
somewhere, Arona? Because I
Yes,
didn't
it's all-
find it.
It's all written on the guidelines for the grading guidelines. It says exactly.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
we'd like the kids to speak a minimum of 20 seconds, of course. If their answer gives all the information in less than 20 seconds, they won't, we're not going to take off points. But the idea is to encourage speaking. Okay?
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Let's think
Thank
of
you.
the goal here, okay? The goal is that students speak. Okay?
Right.
So on the portal, there is both table specification and the rubric. Both documents give all the information necessary.
All the information.
Yeah. Vera, what did you want to ask? Please unmute yourself. You didn't unmute yourself.
Yes, it's a 30-minute test. Somebody
Hi,
asked.
thank
30
you.
minutes.
I have a question about this year 12th grade
Yes.
and their Mikud. Since last year and the year before, we started teaching according to the very to the war Mikud and Corona Mikud. And this year, 12th graders supposed to, by the Mikud, supposed to finish a lot of literature. Is there going to be Mikud specific for this year's 12th graders?
I answered that question. I said that we now went back at the end of last
Year they're supposed to do 1-1-1 in Misrad HaKalkala schools for three.
That we
Three-
finished already. Well,
Last year.
that we finished last year, so
Last year. Is
Right.
this year 12 graders?
No,
Because
I'll say again, we have no new information. It's a general policy for all subject matters, not only English, whether there is a mikud, a special mikud for the entire country or not. I think
because last year they started
it doesn't matter what
according to
last
the
year was done. Last year is last year. Now we're looking at a new year. The new school year relates to apparently, I don't know, but I have a feeling that there will be a distinction between the North that really is in a very, very difficult situation and the South and the rest of the country. So I wouldn't count on that. And in general, I want to say our aim in general for all levels is to teach more, is to expose students to more, to have them write more, to learn more vocabulary as much as possible, because that's what gives them the support that they really need. And the less we teach them, we're not doing them any favor. I'm saying this as a general statement. Okay? Thank you.
And
So at the
please
moment
stay
when
up
there
to
is
date.
mikud, when there is a mikud, you will be the first to know, I promise.
Yeah, you will be notified, and please also keep checking the portal always. Stay up to date by visiting the portal.
Yes. Okay. Sabrine, you wanted to ask? Sabrine Haddad? You have to unmute, yeah, but I can't see you, so I guess your question is no longer. Okay.
Relevant, but I wasn't able to unmute myself.
Okay, so please ask
Okay,
now.
I want to ask about graduate students, نفخنا مشنا, about the module A, if they want to improve their grade, so
they
do
do
they
the new module A.
they don't have to do the boost again. And what about this?
Boost? No,
They don't
this
have
is not
to-
relevant.
the
There's
boost-
no
no,
such
they're not
thing as
relevant.
boost.
No, no,
this-
no.
Right?
No.
Okay, about this year's 12th graders who have taken the module A in 11th grade.
Mhm.
No, it won't be. Listen, the winter, there's only going to be one type of module A. Old versions will not exist anymore.
So if they want to improve their grade, they're taking the module A, the new one, without listening.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Who else? Ronnie, you wanted to ask a question? But you have to unmute yourself if you want to ask a question. Ronnie, we can't hear you.
I know. I can't unmute.
Okay,
Well,
now
you
you
just
have.
It's not
did.
allowing.
You have to allow
Now
it.
you
The host
have.
has to
Now-
allow it.
Now, okay.
Okay.
Best practice during the year towards module A for very weak students, because when we changed it to the new module A and we added to text, we used module B. And now what's the best suggestion to practice with them? Not old A's, the A's like until 2 years ago.
Well, I think I answered that question. What I said is, first of all, it's always best to practice what we have and use what you have. Use whatever you have. You can always add a couple extra questions. It's the idea that that it's longer, it's going to be much too difficult. It's really not a big deal. And start slow. Start with one paragraph, then do two, then do three, then a fourth. Okay?
Yeah, obviously, but
You
we're
can use the
testing
old
them.
ones. You can use the very old ones, but you'll see that the questions are quite different from the kinds of questions we have today. One of the things I do want to say is that there won't be any
different. Not so
there
different.
won't be any double questions. Okay, there won't be any double questions. So
The double tick.
Don't commit that there won't be any double questions. There won't be two sets of double questions as we had. There won't be two sets. There might be one set. But in any case, the change is not something that students, as they see them, it's just to add more questions and not to change the essence of reading. Okay? Not to change the essence of reading at all. Okay. Maya, I saw you were raising your hand for a long time.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if you have like the ballpark figure number of questions that we're planning to have the FS7 students answer. Because
it's always the same. It's not the number, it's the number of points that they get. Okay, so that will change depending on the test. When we see the test, we'll be able to tell you, we'll be able to have the number of questions, but it will probably be 6 or 7 questions.
6 or 7 questions. That's even less than what they've been doing up until now.
No, they've been doing that. They've been doing like 4 and 3, so 7.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
Okay. Hannah Golgo?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Very good. It's a question which is often raised in my school, and I've never heard certain answer. What are the demands for the 3-point project? The length, the quantity of pages, questions, what?
There is there is no definite requirement for 3 points. We just want to encourage them to write. Look at the module. Arona said that there's a model, sorry, not a model, a model on the portal that is called Happy Birthday or Birthday Project.
Birthday project.
Look at that as your model, but you can change the topic as you see fit.
It's rather long.
It's not long. It's very easy to do, and the kids can do it. It's real. You can adapt it for your students. Okay,
what you
Hannah,
said.
adapt it for your students. But
As-
the project, I have to say, because I go all over the place and I test many, many, many kids. The project is not half a page.
נכון.
It's a project.
And it's something that helps students read authentic or write authentically or listen, or they do a survey or something that helps them be exposed to English. And something that they can also be proud of because they have a product. Okay. Helena?
Hi, can you hear
Hi.
me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Harona had said that you can only do the COBE in 12th grade. That's fair enough. However, my question is, can the 11th graders do it at will? Do the face-to-face F7 kids?
No.
No, that's a definite no.
No.
Because we wanted to finish in 11th grade and
can't.
No. That's exactly
You
the
can't finish
big
in
no.
11th grade.
You
You
can't.
can't.
It's out of the
But-
question.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
Adi, did you want to ask a question, Adi?
Rachel?
Okay, whoever can go
Yes.
first. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
I do want to have a question, but first I wanted to say something about the birthday project, which I used. I've done a number of times, and as Arona said, the kids love it. With the really weak students, it is really wonderful. They work on it and they really enjoy it. So I recommend that. But I just wanted to have something confirmed, although you have probably said it. This year, 12th grade, 3-point students at the end of the year, is it compulsory that they take the boost?
Yep.
Yes.
Even though they've done module A and they've already done a listening?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, that was the question.
Michal Stein, I see you are raising your hand for a long time. Can you unmute yourself?
Oh, sorry. It's Adi. Just now I unmuted myself. I wasn't
Okay.
allowed to do that. So can I ask a question?
So first Adi and then Michal. Okay.
Thank you very much. It's a technical question. I just wanted to know if we can get the presentation that Aona used.
Always. It'll be posted. It'll be online.
Yeah, it will be posted. And you talked about the project for 3 points, that there isn't a model, like students can do whatever they want, basically.
No,
Is
that's
there
not the students who do whatever they want.
No,
The
no,
teachers.
I don't mean
Okay.
whatever they want. I mean, there isn't like a sample. I mean, they choose a topic and do it. There isn't like a structure or something like that.
There is one second. There is a handbook. I'm sorry to say. There is a handbook on the portal. It has to be updated, but the project section is still accurate. Look at the project section on the Bagrut handbook part, and you'll see that there are guidelines for the project, and also clear feedback that you can give, and there are examples and everything is there. So look at the
Okay.
handbook on the portal.
And
Handbook for
Adi, feel free if you want to talk to me. We want to see examples of things. I'm happy to send them to you. But talk to me.
Okay, so I can WhatsApp you. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
fine. Michal.
Hi, thank you. For the COB, we have simulations on the website, so I can practice with my students. Do we have the same for the boost?
Yes, you do.
Yes.
The boost,
Yes.
first of
Well-
all, what we have on the eye test are previous tests. It's not really a simulation. The simulation are the dates that they give us from Agaf Bchinot. But they're practice tests from last summer, last winter, and the previous year. of the-
Okay,
Mhm.
Okay.
so it would be the same. These are the tests for the posts.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Yes. Anna.
I also wanted, I wanted to ask about the project. Arona, did you say it should be half a page?
No, I
It's
said it
enough?
shouldn't be.
It
Should
shouldn't
not.
be.
Should
It
not.
shouldn't be,
Cannot.
so-
May not. Will not. Is there another
Mhm.
not? Not.
So it's about 2 pages, I
No,
think,
no,
yeah?
it's about 10 pages.
10 pages for
No,
doesn't
no,
have
students.
to
no,
be
no, no,
full-
that's
It doesn't have to be full writing. You have a front
Pictures.
page, you have a table of contents, you can have a timeline. There's a lot of things you have on the different pages, but it shouldn't
Okay.
just be copy paste a page and a half and finished.
Okay.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
Okay. Hila. Hila, you have to unmute yourself. In the meantime,
Hi.
okay, go ahead.
Yes, hi, thank you. I have two questions. First of all, in not the grades, the dates for the winter, it's not the same as was presented in the portal. There are dates that appear in the portal and in the.
So the portal is the most
portal?
updated. If you have any
portal.
questions, it's always according to the portal.
Okay, thank you. And another question, the F7 students, if they do a face-to-face in the winter, or Bagrut, so in the 3 points, and they want to go to 4 points in the summer, so they can't do another face-to-face. They have to do
No.
a code because
They can't do another face-to-face. They cannot do another face-to-face, and therefore it's a good idea for them not to do the face-to-face in the winter if you want them to do 4 points. Or you make the you test them as if it's a 4 point. Then you can rate
okay,
it
because
for
it's
the grade.
considered an internal grade, right?
No, it's
No,
right. But
no.
you don't give them an internal grade. It's not an internal grade. It's a final grade. But when you test them according to the level that you think they're going to do.
Okay.
Okay.
It means
Thank you.
better planning. The whole idea of transition from 3 to 4, you have to know that you can only do one boost or code one time. Okay, I mean, and literature once. You can submit
And
grades.
what about last year? Because last year it wasn't clear, and we did do in the winter for 3 points, and then in the summer for the 4 points. And they told us that they'll
so
find a solution.
Hila, that's what I explained, that the change was made in the middle of this year. That's number one. And that's why that came up. And in order for it not to happen again, right, they made the change around Pesach, the decision around Pesach time. So for it not to happen again, this year, plan accordingly. Don't plan to do
that
tests.
of course, but they will fix last year. They will allow the students to have the grade that they need.
Talk to me, okay? Talk to me. I'll tell you what you have to do.
Okay, I
Okay,
see
I'll talk to you.
people
Thank you.
are already leaving the
People are leaving, and it's time to say goodbye.
and it's time to say goodbye. So anything that is beyond we haven't answered, I don't believe, but if there are still questions, you know how to reach us. Elias, please put your email here on the chat.
It's the ministry hasn't given me the new email yet. It
Put
should
your
be on the
old
portal
email.
in the next few days.
Still, put your email in the
Okay, I
meantime in the chat. Okay, if anyone wants to direct a direct link to you, they should get it. Okay, and in the meantime, I'm gonna say have a good year and a safe year. We wish you all the best, really. English is the most important subject, I believe so. And I always acted upon that belief. And I wish you all the best. Goodbye.
Bye.
And lots of strength in this challenging time.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Arona.
Siona. Thank you, Siona and Elias. What a treat to be with both of you here. Thank you, everybody. It was so nice
Bye.
to see whoever we could see.
Bye.
Bye.